What's going on, guys? This is Jake Kent, and here on this channel we talk about hair loss, hair systems, and just becoming better men overall. Now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of something up here. I got a brand new system, and it turns out this is way too much whey protein. I'm just messing around with you guys. This is obviously way too thick for my natural density. If we compare it to the last hair system that I got, this is just not the best look. There's an extreme amount of density that's just not working for my particular look. It's not how I was born, and it's not how I should be now. So today in this video, we're gonna see what we can do with this hair system by taking some thinning shears and seeing if we can actually make a dent in this puppy. All right, guys, so obviously this hair system is way too dense. We're gonna be trying to thin it out with some thinning shears. One of the things that I could do to make this a little bit better if I had to keep this hair system, I spent a whole bunch of money on it and I didn't have another one backed up, is actually first try to get a haircut. When the density is really high like this, you can try to just reduce the overall size of the haircut with getting the haircut shorter. If we look back here, the hair is, it's fairly long. We're looking at like 2.5 to 3 inches. Now I'm probably gonna go get a new hair system put on tomorrow. Just because this density is way too much. So because of that, I have no problem whatsoever experimenting and just seeing what happens. But like, if we just look at this density, it's insane how much hair is here for me. This is just, it's too much for just about anybody. There's like zero scalp. You have to literally part the hair like that to see the scalp, which is just not natural for my hair. I mean, if we look over here, you can see the scalp right here on me. I have thinner hair, so it's just what it is. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm just gonna film it and you guys can follow along, learn some lessons about what to do, what not to do. I don't do this all the time, so it's probably gonna make some mistakes. But if it winds up being absolutely terrible, I'm not worried about it. So shall we go? All right, I don't actually know if this is a thing. I'm just completely going impromptu, but the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna completely get this guy as like organized as possible as far as the hair, so that way it's not scraggly and tossed about. Look at this, it's like I got a freaking rat on my head.
This is a hobo suit, darling. You can't be seen in this. I won't allow it.
All right, I'm gonna start whittling away at this puppy, and I'm probably doing all this stuff wrong, but roast me in the comments, guys. That's what you guys are here for. Roast me, support me, give me tips. But I'm gonna ultimately try to take out a ton of hair density with this puppy right here. What these scissors do is it actually create some space. The hair gets cut while it also allows some of the hair to be fed through the scissors, so that way it doesn't cut everything all at once. It doesn't kind of give that blunt cut. Some of the hair gets cut, some of the hair doesn't get cut. Or what this will do to the hair is it'll take it, some hair will be left long, some hair will actually be cut short. We're gonna take a break from cutting now. I'm gonna actually brush the hair and see what comes out. Look at that. This brush right here is absolutely caked with hair. This is all stuff that has been thinned out right now. I never had to use thinning shears growing up once because my hair was always thin. So that's just not a problem I had to deal with ever. Feel bad for the people that have such thick hair that you have to use thinning shears. Oh my God, life must be so terrible. For my well-endowed haired friends. Wow, even that right there is starting to help the front hairline. You can actually see through some of this hair. Let's just see what happens if we keep on going with this process. It's gonna look so janky by the end, I know it. It's gonna be really hard to get this even because, I'm not really using a method to my madness. That would probably be, if I was gonna do this to a lot of my hair systems, the number one is I would kind of figure out like a systemized way to go through the hair and at least try to make it somewhat more, uniform, because I don't think it's a good idea to have, varying thicknesses along the entire hair, if you will. I can already see though that this is doing a lot of great stuff for this system if I had to keep it. It looks way less thick than it originally did. Let's see. I think that there's kind of like a bunching portion right here, so I'm gonna take some of this puppy out. Yeah, this hair right in here is really messing up the shape. And I don't even know if I'm doing this correctly, but like one of the things that I'm looking for as I'm seeing if this system is gonna blend in a little bit better is like these lines right here. So if I lay my hair down like this right here, perfectly flat, like does the hair system hair blend into my natural hair pretty easily, or is it have so much density and volume that it's like just not gonna work no matter what. Because even if I just let this hair just sit naturally, it's not gonna lay right, you know, and that's a problem. All right guys, just for perspective, this is how much hair I've currently taken out of this system. So we've taken a ton out already. And don't mind me, I'm just gonna take a little bit more out. I haven't even worked on the back half of it. This is gonna be so hard to cut on the back side. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to get the back to really look nice and natural because I'm just blind to it. I'm gonna try to cut out some of the density up here and just do it, you know, feel it, but chances are I'm gonna mess it up. And like I said, guys, you know, I'm not even rushing through this, but I'm doing this really, really fast because it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna get a new hair system put on tomorrow. I have that luxury. You may not have this luxury, so you might go slower than I and do it a little bit more systematically. Would that be a good video for us to do in the future? Like how to systematically thin your hair system? Like, would that be something you guys wanna watch and see how to do? Because I'm sure that all of you have gotten hair systems that you're just like, wow, this is way too dense. This is not gonna work for me. I need another strategy. So something I'm actually thinking about as I'm doing this is that you know, if you have this problem and you bring your system to a stylist and you're like, this is way too thick, I know it's too thick, and like I'm gonna need you to go through with some thinning shears, you know, something that you may wanna tell them is like, it's okay if you take a lot out of this system. Something I've noticed is that stylists really are afraid to thin out too much. They'll use like thinning shears and they'll take a little bit out, but they're afraid to really go in there and slice and dice, and probably for good reason. But with a situation like this where you need it to be way thinner, you might have to tell them like, listen dude, no, I need this to be way thinner. Like I need you to hack and slash your way through that jungle up there. I don't know. I'm starting to think that this is looking a little bit better, so to speak. Curious what you guys think right now. It's so hard to tell, like as I'm doing this stuff, if it's getting better or not. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a little bit more out of the front hairline, just cause it doesn't matter if I mess this one up or if I go too thin or it doesn't have the right look. I'm gonna get a new one tomorrow. So I'm just gonna experiment, go a little too far, and I guess test the limits, because ultimately what I'm trying to do at the front is, you know, create that illusion, right? That it's a natural hairline, that there is maybe a little less density up front. It's a little diffuse as it goes back. It's tricky to do, guys. Curious to see how this will turn out though. All right guys, what I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna actually take us back to my room after styling this hair, and we're gonna do a little before and after comparison and talk about it. Oh my God, look at it, it's alive. Look at all this hair. Oh, it's moving. Look at this, guys, this is nuts. This is like practically a whole other head of hair. This is like a light density unit of hair. Like if you were in your 50s or 60s, it might look something like that. That's how much hair I took out. It's nuts. It's nuts. I lied, guys. I need to take more out. All right, guys, what do you actually think of how this turned out? I'll give you a little turnabout here. I didn't use any mirrors to check the back, and I really just kind of hacked and slashed because I just wanted to see if doing this really quickly would give this a little bit of a better appearance. So this is just kind of iteration one of really hacking and slashing a hair system that's way too dense down to something that might be a little bit more natural density. I do think that if we look at the front hairline, I think it's a little bit more believable than it was before. And I also think that the density is not just so incredibly thick that it's this unnatural elevation from my scalp. This is what the hairline looks like right now. So I think it's still not great, but you know, that'll do, pig, that'll do. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is this something that's passable? Do you think it's something that's just like, hell no, still doesn't work, still isn't right? Let me know down in the comments down below if you wanna see me experiment with stuff like this, or just do the crazy stuff that you've thought of as far as like ways to improve your hair system, things to fix it. But you know, you're too scared or you just don't want to waste your hair system pretty much. Let me know in the comments. I do have an extra supply of hair systems. I'm lucky enough to be given hair systems by Lord Hair and Lavivid, and that, you know, I can get away with trying some of this stuff. So let me know, guys. We'll talk soon.